You're listening to vNacelle Insights, where we bring you valuable information on accelerating business value, business transitions, employee engagement, visual process mapping, self-awareness, and entrepreneurial excellence.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Ledoux, and I'm the CEO and one of the founders of vNacelle. We're a consulting company that internationally helps people build roadmaps to success and then supports them in their journey. Today, what we're going to talk about is transition. So we're going to talk about business transition. Our focus is going to be on private business transition, and specifically, we're going to talk a little bit about families. The concepts that we're going to talk about also apply to employees. They apply to partners. So one partner leaving, other partner staying, business owner leaving, employee potentially buying in or taking over. Now, dilemmas keep us stuck, and what we need is fulfillment. We need engagement through advancement of something. And that's very important for entrepreneurial people, because without advancement, it's almost like death. We feel stuck, we're not moving, we're not happy, and that worry just envelops us. So worry, worry, worry. How am I going to get to where I need to go? I've got to do something about this, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to leave yet. So movement gives us choice in our world. So with that movement, then we can be engaged, we can move forward, we can take small steps, we can be on that roadmap. And again, as we run into roadblocks and things like that, then we can make the decisions that are going to help us and others get to where we all want to go. One of the things that makes vNacelle different is we put relationships first. So helping each other get to where you want to go is probably the most rewarding thing you can do for people. And you've been doing that in your entire career as an owner, helping people get to where they want to go. You solve problems. You help your customers get what they need and get to where they want to go. You help your employees get to where they want to go. You help your family members get to where they want to go. And hopefully along the way, you've helped yourself get to where you want to be and your partners. Getting to where we want to go and putting relationships first is the key. So instead of starting with the functional things, which is where most people start, like with tax and legal, right, estate, and even functionally who will or will not be able to take on a role, we start with people first, finding out people's objectives. It's a relatively simple concept. Our process that we use is easy, and it's fun, and it's engaging to do it. So your number one job is really to help people get to where they want to go and help others be successful. And the biggest mistake that we see that business owners do is they leave too soon. Your number one job as an owner and a leader is to help other people be successful. And the biggest thing that we see business owners do that puts them at risk is that they leave too soon. So making the assumption that because an employee's been there for a long time, or because a son or daughter grew up with the business, that they actually understand how to do all of these tasks. Now, they probably understand some of them, but even you don't know all of the tasks that you do, or even how you do them. It's amazing. The things that you do are almost automatic. So helping others to be successful is important. And I like to use the analogy of math. So if you were a younger person, if you can go all the way back to when you learned how to add and subtract, when I do that, I think of sitting at the table. My mom was cooking breakfast. We had flashcards. She was asking me questions for my quiz that was coming up at school. And she would go, gee, what's 2 plus 2? And I go, oh, that's easy, that's 4. And then she would go, what's 5 plus 8? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, 5 plus 8, that's so hard. And then I would go and I would take my quiz and I'd do pretty good. And pretty soon I mastered adding and subtracting. So now at my age, I add and subtract all day long. I don't even think about it. It's just natural to me. I'm an engineer and I graduated with honors, which was a lot of fun and a lot of work to go through that process. If somebody would have asked me to do a calculus problem, which I had to do in my engineering school to get my degree, but if somebody would have asked me to do that calculus problem when I was only in algebra, I would have failed. I would have failed miserably. Not because I wasn't capable of doing it, but because I didn't have all the steps. Now, one of the things that's important in the successor role is to figure out whether your successor is going to be able to be a successor. And that's one of the things that we do with our process, and we do at vNacelle. We help owners figure out who is going to be the best successor and if they're going to make it. Because one way or another, you're going to need a successor. And again, it's a journey to figure out whether that successor is going to be your perfect one and whether they're going to be able to do the job. We want you to be able to help them to do that calculus problem if they're able and capable of doing it. And we also want to help to give the steps along the way that they're going to need in order to be able to get there. Transitioning well, it's probably the most important thing that you'll do in your entire career. And we know it's a risk, but so is just being in business. And so what we want to do is help you to put relationships first and make this a fun and rewarding journey, because the future actually is pretty exciting. Thank you for joining me. My name is Elizabeth Ledoux, and I'm CEO and founder of vNacelle. We'd love for you to reach out, and typically what we do is offer a 3/3 meeting. We call it a 3/3 meeting. Majority of it is about you. We tell you a little bit about us, and we give you some concepts along the way for you to use as you go forward. We'd love to have a 3/3 meeting with you. All you need to do is reach out and we'll get that scheduled. And then you can explore some new concepts in transitioning well.